Hey guys, KangasKid18 here, back with another round of shiny speculation for the upcoming Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. Like with my other videos in this series, I'll be comparing my old shiny speculation with the newly leaked shiny forms from the Sun and Moon demo, and then grading myself on how close I got to the real thing. So let's get started with the sea cucumber Pokemon, Pyukumuku. I really like Pyukumuku because its design is simple, and so I thought it should probably get simple shinies. First off, I thought the spines on its back could turn a mellow green color, but keep its body the same. Or I thought the spines could turn a light blue, but again, keeping the body the same. Or the third option, turn the body a dark blue and then make its spines silver. And what we got was green body but orange spines. Not even a little bit close. Alright, I'm gonna give myself an F on this one. Next up, we've got a Pokemon that I'm not a huge fan of. It's Type Null. Now, Pokemon has been doing some weird things with the names this generation, but Type Null really takes the cake. When I first saw it revealed on the official channel, I thought they'd made a mistake on the video. And what makes it odder is that its evolution is a fairly normal name. But that's a topic for another day. Let's get on to the shinies. Now, for Type Null, I really had no ideas what the shinies should look like, so I just messed around a bit. First off, I gave its random markings and body a super saturated tone, but have its mane and axe stay the same color. Or building off this, I thought its axe and mane could turn black and red, kinda like shiny Haxorus. And what we got was everything stays the same, except its mane turns bronze and some of the markings get a yellowish tone. Not a very exciting shiny, and I was way off on it, so again, I'm giving myself an F. Moving on, we've got Type Null's evolution, Silvally. I like Silvally quite a bit more than Type Null, but I gave it pretty similar shinies. One that saturates all the random body parts but gives it a black mask with yellow markings, and one that does the same thing but makes the mane black and gives it a red mask. And the one we got was slightly yellow mane and tail bits, gold mask, and turquoise markings. Well, that's another one I missed completely, so I'm gonna give myself another F. Next up, we've got a Pokemon that I really like. It's Minior. Back when it was first revealed, I gave Minior two different shinies. One that's dark gray with whitish eye sockets, and one that's pale tan with green markings. And what we got was... Did you see the colors change? No, of course you didn't, because Minior's outer shell doesn't change even a little bit, which in my opinion is a huge missed opportunity. But anyway, when Minior's HP drops below half, it sheds its outer shell and becomes Minior Core. Now, unlike its outer shell, I thought Minior Core would have a very subtle color change, here changing from a bright pink to more of a light purple color. And what we got was jet black, with bright colored markings representing the various Minior core colors. And I'm not even mad, this shiny looks awesome. But I thought its outer shell would get a major shiny change and its core a minor one, but instead, the shell got no change at all and its core got a major change. So again, I'm gonna give myself an F. Up next, we've got one of my favorite Pokemon from these new games, it's Komala. Now back then I gave Komala two different shinies, one that's pink with blue ear tufts, and one that's green but with yellow ear tufts. And the one we got was... no change in the Pokemon itself, but its stump becomes white and pink. Man, another one I didn't get anywhere close on. Oh well, I'm giving myself another F. Moving on, we've got the new Fire Dragon type Pokemon, Turtonator. Now, I really like Turtonator, so much so that I actually created 4 different shinies for it. One that turns the shell brown with washed out yellow, one that turns the shell blue and green with a bluish body, one that's purple all over, and one that's blue all over. And the one we got was... same color yellow, brown shell, and bluish body. Man, actually, if you take the shell from my first speculation and the body color from my second, I think I actually got this one pretty close. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a B+ on this one. Up next, we've got this generation's Pika clone, Togedemaru. Now, I only made one shiny for Togedemaru, and I thought if its current coloration makes it look like a steel type, its shiny ought to make it look like an electric type. So I made it light yellow, but with blue and pink markings. And what we got was... the gray changes to pink, but the other markings stay the same color. Oh well, another F. Next up, we've got the fan favorite Pokemon, Mimikyu. Since Mimikyu wants to be a Pikachu so bad, I thought there was one obvious shiny for it. Simply turn it into shiny Pikachu's colors. And what we got was grayscale, but with the same brown tail as before. Wrong again, F. Moving on, we've got a Pokemon that everybody seems to either love or hate. It's Bruxish. Now, I've said before that I'm a fan of shinies where the colors switch places, and Bruxish offers a unique opportunity for that. So I decided to take its yellow, blue, pink, and purple colors and switch them all around, which I think looks great. And what we got was bright red, white markings, and a little sea green to top it off. Man, these colors kind of make my eyes hurt. I don't like it very much, but again, I was way off, so F. Next up is the new normal dragon-type Pokemon, Drampa. Now this shiny was tough for me to design, but eventually I found a pink and blue color scheme that worked pretty well together. So I just tweaked its other shades a bit, and we've got a pretty good looking shiny. But what we got was tan, and different tan, with dark blue eyebrows. This Shiny's alright, at least it uses less saturated colors than we've seen from other Pokemon this generation, but again, I was way off, so I'm giving myself another F. Man, I'm striking out a lot on today's episode, but let's go ahead and move on to the first Pokemon in our pseudo-legendary line, Jangmo-o. Now I love Jangmo-o's design, and I had a bunch of different potential shinies for it. First off, I switched the black and gray colors around, and then gave the scales a pale green color, which looks pretty good. But I thought changing the scales to pink instead looked even better. And lastly, on a whim, I decided to make its body yellow, but make its scales a darker orange. And what we got was yellow body and pink scales? Man, I didn't think in a million years it would actually end up yellow. Plus the scales are pretty much the same pink as my middle speculation. So I guess the right colors, just on different speculations. So I'm gonna give myself a B+ on this one. Moving on, we've got Jangmo-o's evolution, Hakamo-o. Now, I made two potential shinies for Hakamo-o, but they're very different from the ones I gave Jangmo-o. The first turns Hakamo-o into kind of a jade dragon, so green all over with orange arm scales. The second turns Hakamo-o white, but gives it pink scales instead. And we got, like Jangmo-o, yellow body with pink scales. Well, I guess the pink scale's right, and I got the yellow body with Jangmo-o, so screw it. I'm giving myself a B- on this one. And lastly, we've got the final evolution of this pseudo-legendary line. It's Kommo-o. And the shinies for Kommo-o are gonna look very similar to the ones I just gave Hakamo-o. So one that's a jade dragon, and one that's white, but with pink scales. And again, what we got was yellow body and pink scales. I would've nailed it if I kept Jangmo-o's yellow going through the whole line, but I didn't. So like Hakamo-o, I'm giving myself a B-. Alright guys, that about wraps up the shiny speculation for the regular Pokedex, but fear not. We've still got legendaries and Alola forms to revisit as well, so keep an eye out for those soon, but until then guys, as always, we are gonna see you on the next shiny.